So welcome to English 101 W55. My name is Isaac Iwosho. I'll be your instructor in this course. Right now, you're looking at the course shell on Blackboard. And okay, I wanted to make sure I have this mouse pointer highlighter. So the first thing I'm going to do is to look at the course syllabus. And after looking at the course syllabus, I'm going to look at the course calendar. I'm also going to discuss the theme of this class. And I'm sure you guys have an idea from the videos, the emails I've been sending, and also the announcements. Okay, so let's go right into the course syllabus. Now, the course syllabus is something you should be able to access by clicking on Syllabus and Schedule tab right here. Once you click on that, you should be able to access, you should know what to do from there. It's pretty easy to navigate. But just so you're aware, this is the syllabus. My syllabus is usually detailed, and it's detailed on purpose because I want to give you all the instructions that you need. And I don't want to leave any room for confusion, especially when students are navigating a course online by themselves. So when we look at the course syllabus, you would notice the theme I have here: social media, technology, academic, and rhetorical writing. So another way to think about this is to think of the word STAR. That's an acronym for STARW. Well, the W is more like that sort of oriented, but it's STAR, like rhetoric. That's what we focus on. So I'm going to start by just walking you through the theme. And so that's how I organize this class. And let me focus on the theme right now. So when we talk about the theme, this is how I've planned the class. So we're going to focus on, we're going to look into social media. When I say social media, I'm talking about any medium where you promote contents that are generally available to the public, something like YouTube. So when we have our social media project, some of you will be assigned to do some research regarding Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and so on and so forth. Some of the topics we explore will focus on some of the issues that are contemporary when it relates to social media. We're not going to cover all of this, but this is just to know that this is a broad field. It could include topics such as likes, self-validation, and then we've got issue with body image and Instagram, but that's just one aspect. We've got issues with surveillance and surveillance in social media, and we've got mental health. Now, and there are other topics as well, but that's just to give you a glimpse. So what about technology? Well, there's a definition for technology. And this definition I found very practical, and it's from Greg Yu. It's a website on YouTube. So technology is defined as a system of practical knowledge and ideas and problem solving to create tools. So technology tools are the product gadgets created by technology. So just as you have your smartphones, you also have social media on your smartphone. You're able to access, let's say, Snapchat on your smartphone, on your device due to the technology. So your phone is the device itself. Technology is the ideas that has been installed, that has been made practical through coding, engineering, and 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 algorithms. Everything works together to make your phone what it is, and to be able to enable you to access the internet. So when it comes to writing and technology, many of you I'm sure are familiar with Google Docs, Microsoft Word. You're aware of citation tools. Now we have e-readers. Some of you may like to read books electronically, but then there are issues when it comes to writing and technology or digital writing. So we've got email communication. You guys are going to be writing about email communication. You are going to be doing some presentation. We are going to be talking about plagiarism and some issues involving technology. And one big issue is AI. AI now includes chatbots or ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. So the many other topics related to technology, but some of the topics we'll cover are highlighted in this table, as you can see, this matrix. Let me call it the matrix. We got academic writing. So academic writing entails ad arguments, often in the service of changing people's minds. That's how it's defined by the author of textbook for this, and we'll talk about this. If you don't have this yet, that's fine. I have a solution to that. So some of the topics we cover in academic writing would include composition essays, summary response, college writing. You'll be engaged in critical analysis of an essay. So these are some of the topics that you should expect in English 101. Now, rhetoric, it's about the available means of persuasion. Some think it's propaganda. There are all kinds of definitions of rhetoric, and we will cover some definitions. We can't cover everything. But as far as rhetoric is concerned in this class, you are going to be presenting. You're going to be engaging in persuasive writing analysis, argumentative writing of some sort, some research. You're going to examine how specific individuals use language persuasively. So that's the course theme in a nutshell. And I think another aspect that I should focus on in the course syllabus, as you can see, is my office hours. Since this is online, my office, I'm not going to be able to meet with you on college. If that's even possible, you know, we would have to be, it has to be arranged, and it's got to be something very significant for me to meet you on college campus. But I do come to college when I have the opportunity, and that's rare. Let's put it that way. So looking at the information on the course syllabus, you've got the virtual office hours. So my virtual office hours is from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I don't just hang out on Zoom when nobody is there, and you've got to make an appointment with me, and please try to do so in advance. If today is Monday, so try to make, if you can make the opportunity, if you can make it a goal to reach out to me the day before, that works, because I can arrange. I could prepare. I know you know, I have many students, so I may not be, I may need to like review your assignment or something that you need to talk to me about. So don't do it like, I mean, if I would say at best, if it's Tuesday, do it early in the morning on Tuesday, but try to give me sufficient time. I'd say a day in advance where you make the appointments, so that the meeting is profitable. Okay. And I also have what I call my preferred method of communication. If you look at the course syllabus here, I said I prefer to be reached via email, but there are some exceptions. I said, if you would like to schedule an appointment, phone or web session, please send an email to initiate the meeting. And I want to emphasize that I'm approachable. And I'm going to go to the exceptions, because I think that should be something you should be interested in. If I say I prefer to be reached via email, does that mean I'm only I'm close to email only and not other means of communication? And the answer is I am not close to email, but I stated it the way I have here for a reason, and you will understand why. So let's go to the section where I have this further analyzed, like what I mean by exceptions. So we'll look at other aspects of the course syllabus, but I want to cover the communication policy. So communication is two-way, not one-way. If you think of email in today's day and age, email can be very one-sided. Email is something that you can edit, and email is used a lot. Not every one of us check our emails. I know that many students who register for this class did not check their email. That's why maybe they couldn't join. But also, because I look at the analytics. I check who's clicked on something, especially for the video that I send. I could check it. I could monitor that on YouTube. Not that I know who you are if you click on something, but I'm able to do that. Email, when I use it in this class, is going to be for general announcements, to clarify dates, or maybe assignment instructions that are really brief. Now, when a student is struggling to understand my instructions, to understand my lectures, when a student is having issues with regards to grade, when a student is having challenges and they're trying to communicate to me, I prefer that we move that conversation away from email, because it's not always easy to discuss these issues via email. Some issues can be sensitive, and some issues may require a back and forth communication. So I don't have much time to be sending like 10 emails in a day to just one student. So if it's something very significant, something that you think is going to require a lot of follow-up or back and forth conversation, just tell me that you want to talk, and I'll find a way to reach out to you. We can schedule a phone call, we can schedule a virtual meeting, but we kind of just say it's email and it's just going to be email, because it depends on the situation. There's a reason why you have world leaders today. They have meetings in person. There's a reason why world leaders travel to another country to meet another world leader. There's a reason why when somebody is having, maybe you visit a doctor and this and a health problem has been discovered, they call you to come to the hospital to talk. They don't deliver the bad news to you over the phone. Not that every time I want to speak to you is going to be bad. It's just that I'm just sensitive to the context. Like, not all situations, not all issues can be solved via email. So I emphasize this because I'm very aware of the cultural situation and context today, that many of us, especially if you're a Gen Z, you'd rather just send one email than talk to anybody on the phone or even see them in person. Is this a good habit? Many people, they would say, that's just the way we do things. I'm busy. Yeah. But guess what? I'm sure you would look at, we're going to be examining issues that relates to technology and isolation. And some of these issues, like it or not, is impacting the 21st century. And if you're a Gen Z, you're very well affected, not just Gen Z, but the larger population. Yeah, you will see later in this class. So that's that on email communication. I want to focus next on something you should know about the course, and that's the course outcome. Now, when I teach this class, I have to teach it according to objectives. So I didn't decide this objective, the course outcomes. This is something that the English department decided. Okay. So, but what I try to do is that I create materials, I create instruction in order to help you guys achieve these course outcomes. All right. So you're going to be getting feedback from me when you write essays. You are going to get comments, and that hopefully would help you improve. Please make sure you are aware of the expected technical skills that you need in this class. I expect that you have a laptop or a desktop. Why? Because you're in college. You're going to be writing essays. It's not convenient to be. I had a student one time who was submitting an assignment through her iPhone. I don't even know how that's convenient to be typing up work on an iPhone, but she was doing it, and it's not very convenient. So if you don't have a computer, or if you, for one reason or the other, you can always take advantage of the resources at school, the computer lab at school. That's another way to problem solve. So you should have a computer, a personal desktop or laptop, at least. Don't rely on your phone. Not that you can check Blackboard on your phone. It's just that it's just not convenient. And I've had issues. And then there are different kinds of phones today. Like some students, they try to submit things on their phone, and I don't even see it, because if you're an iPhone user, you're used to submitting work with Apple Pages. I never see that for some reason. I just never see that. Okay, so please make sure you have the expected technical skills, and reach out to me if you're having some issues regarding that as well. This is the course textbook. I sent, there's a reason why I have this image on the course syllabus, because I don't want you to get the wrong thing or wrong book. So if somebody gets the wrong book, I'm going to ask you, so did you look at the course syllabus? Because I told you exactly what we're going to use in the class. If for some reason or the other you don't have the book yet in the first week, that's fine. If for some reason you're having challenges purchasing the book, let me know. But this is the book we're going to use. I already decided. I'm teaching over 20-something students, And I cannot make an exception because one student wants to use another textbook. No, we're going to use the book that I have approved for this class, okay? But if you have one or more challenges, let me know. Now, you want to pay attention to this because this is a summary of the assignments, the activities I will give you in this class. If when I was a college student, when I would take a class, the first thing I would look is the assignment information. Anything about the assignments that I will be given in that course. So if I were you, I would highlight in my course syllabus the points or the activities or assignments that carry the most points. And as you can see, discussion board forum and other activities carry the most points. That's 170. Okay. You also have the final assignment project, 220 points. And then there are others that matter as well, such as the social media assignment project. But you want to highlight those, and you should at least you should not miss the final project. I'm not saying you should miss the other ones. I'll tell you straight off that this is pretty easy. The course orientation activities. I'm just giving out points because I want you guys to do something. So if you miss this one, I don't know. Maybe this may tell me about your level of involvement in the class. But for you shouldn't miss the course orientation activities because it's just easy points. You're not writing any essay. All you're doing is submitting quiz, and if you know, there's no way you're gonna fail the syllabus quiz because you will understand the reason why I said that. But there's no way you should fail the syllabus quiz. And then their introductory survey, which I just give you points because I'm trying to see how I can help you in the class or understand you. Now, total points, it's 1,000. So as long as you have 900. Or somewhere around 900, that's an A. I would offer some extra credits. So opportunity, even starting with the course orientation, I have an extra credit opportunity. So if you want to, that's how you build your points. Take advantage of the extra credit opportunity because it may help you later in the future. You never know. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to trying to boost your grade in the class. Don't miss the major assignment because that could impact your overall grade. Okay, so if you want more information on how I assign letter grades, it's right here. I would say this because sometimes we think of English as students who turn in perfect essays. One time I had an ESL student in my class. I mean, his essays was always filled with grammatical errors, but he got an A. He got an A because he was hardworking and he did his best to take on extra credit opportunities, and he also would seek my feedback when he turned in an essay, and he was getting at least B pluses, but he wound up with an A. So a letter grade does not necessarily mean that if you get an A, that means that you're the perfect writer. It just means that you're able to turn in superior work, but also maybe you're also taking advantage of opportunities that could boost your grade. 2 points can make a difference. Just think about that. That's why you don't want to miss extra credit opportunities. Okay, now assignment submissions. I would cover this because it's important in my class that I want to see that you turn in work in the format I've described. For the first week, I understand if you are not able to turn in work as a Word document, which is my preferred format. I don't want you turning in work as a PDF or as an Apple page. I just can't open Apple pages. I know about this because I've done some research about it. Many students who use Apple pages are the ones who are using Mac computers, and you may be trying to turn in work through your cell phone. PDF is just easy because you can just create a PDF from your Google Drive. And I know that many of you are using Google Drive because in high school, everybody uses Google Classroom. So I'm not going to reinforce Google as much. I can use Google Drive. There'll be a time and place when you can use Google Submissions. I will let you do that. I use it as myself, so, but I have my specific reasons for not wanting to turn in work as a Google Doc or PDF or Apple page. Can you convert Google Doc to Word? Yes, but sometimes you may run into issues if you do not have the software downloaded. You can download this for free. There's a web version, and and you can download the software on your desktop or laptop. If you have a Chromebook, you likely will run into challenges. You probably want to use the online software version. Okay, so the information on how to do this is available on the syllabus. I also have it on the, also have that information right here. If you look at the, okay, I think this is where I have it. All right, so this is just information to get you. What happens to the video? Okay, it's not here. So this is where I have it. I have it under weekly readings. I think I'm mixing it up, but let's hope it's here. It's under learning modules. Okay, under course orientation. Okay, it's under assignments and projects. That's where I have it. So I've provided you with details how to do it. I didn't feel the need to create a tutorial because the tutorial is available online. So this I found helpful. So this teaches you how to get it for free as a student. I also recorded my own tutorial. Those of you getting me, I'm into video editing and stuff. So I recorded just to tell you how I use it. Microsoft PowerPoint too. I had one on PowerPoint as well. So check any of these out. I mean, before you submit your first essay. You shouldn't have to think about this is not so important for the first week. I can understand if you're trying to situate, but in the second week, when third week when you're turning in essays, just remember what I said about my assignment. I'm going to take that seriously, okay? And I know, trust me, I know a lot of excuses students give me when they don't want to download Word. I know a lot of them because I've invested so much time in this okay. So let's look at the next one, and that's, let me look at the course feedback that you'll be getting. Okay, so on your first draft, I will give you feedback. On your second draft, you would also get some feedback. All right. Then when we look at this, we will also find opportunity to engage in discussion board forum, and I will walk you through the discussion board forum. I know I have not said much about myself, but if you are looking at the course shell, you would notice we've got a discussion board forum. Let me look at this here. So we look at discussion board forum. And I have what I call the autobiographical profile. Now, that would be one of your first activities to complete in the class. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with my screen, but it should be showing up. But basically, in my autobiographical profile, I introduce myself and I describe some of the things I've done. I'm also a proposal writer. I work as a proposal writer during the day, and in the evening I teach. I also have experience tutoring, student writing. For some reason, my page has gone blank. Okay, now it's back. Okay, so you can see the autobiographical profile. So feel free to check this out. If you're curious about me, your instructor. Okay, so I just have what I have in here is just a summary of my autobiography. So check it out. You're welcome to do the same as well. As a matter of fact, this is something that you would do in the first week. Why do I insist on you turning in your autobiographical profile? Because you're going to be talking with other students, relating with other students, and I want you guys to know each other. And one way to do this is by having your autobiographical profile. So read the instructions for this, okay? So when you're done with that, that's the way to get started. So that's one thing I wanted to say about myself. There are other information in the netiquette for the class, but you want to pay attention to. I expect that you will be following these protocols when you are using the discussion board forum. Okay, I've covered the communication policy. let's see, COVID. Well, that doesn't really apply online. But if you, for some reason or the other, terribly sick, so sick that you can't even use the computer, and that's something very rare, though. Let's put it that way. You have to be hospitalized. I've had a student who's been hospitalized. You want to reach out to me, okay? So I can understand. Of course, there'll be reasonable um, accommodations can be made. What about academic dishonesty or plagiarism? Well, plagiarism is cheating. If you're aware of it, it's like you're taking somebody else's work and passing it on as yours. Now, in the age of AI, it's even more creative. Students have gotten so creative in using chatbots to cheat. As an instructor, I'm aware of this, and I want to say that I have a policy on this. What I would say, without saying much, I've outlined it here, is that you are responsible for the choices you make with the technological tools you use. I'm able to detect when students use like AI software to cheat, and I'm not going to tell you how, but I just want to let you know that if you're struggling, it's okay to struggle. Be honest about it. Seek a tutor, and do not um, rely on the internet. Trust me, there's a ton of information on the internet can get you really confused and lost. So you want to be careful about just going on the internet and just finding information that you think is going to help you with your essay. There's student resources. Please take a look at all these details in the syllabus if you're interested in how you can be supported at Harper College. I'm not going to go over every of this because it's a lot, but I'm just skimming through some of them. Academic Support Center. You can get tutoring, writing support at this center. The computer labs, as I've mentioned. Information about the class. So if for some reason you are struggling, please let me know. I like to see what I can do to help students before they make a decision to withdraw from a class. If you don't see anything to me, then I don't have no way of telling what your struggles are or how I can help you. So you gotta be, let's put it this way, you've got to advocate for yourself if you're struggling. Keeping quiet doesn't help me as an instructor because I don't know. I can, especially in an online class, I have no way of knowing if the student is not getting things. In an in-person class, I probably can judge you from your facial expression or reaction, but online, that takes a lot. The other aspect I'll cover in the syllabus is when it comes to late work. Why am I sensitive to this late work policy? Well, when I say that something is not accepted, I also am aware that there are exceptions, reasonable exceptions. So you want to know why I said late work is not accepted, and you also want to understand why I said there will be reasonable exceptions to this policy. Okay, so if you know you're going to be turning in work late, you have to reach out to me before the assignment is due, not after. That way I can understand your situation and I could give you an extension if possible or if necessary. Now, if you just turn in work anytime you want, that's when I have an issue. So that's why I said late work is not accepted. So be careful to read this instruction and don't run away with it and say, this professor is too harsh. He doesn't understand that people have responsibilities. I'm saying that there's a reasonable exception and you've got to speak to me or reach out to me before that work is due. It's just fair because I have 7 days, I have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days in a year. So I've got to plan my time, when I respond to students, when I grade students' work. That's that on the course syllabus. And I'm sure there'll be more coming later. If you have questions, you can use the chart. Otherwise, email me I'm going to look at the course syllabus, sorry, the course calendar. And as you can see, this is the course calendar. But before I review the course calendar, I think I want to play a video. I want to show you guys a video because I think you're going to find it very helpful. I think it's very helpful for students. Okay, but if many of you are doing this, good for you. If not, let's do this. Let's play this. Okay.
Now here's something else.
Let's stop share, and then I want to share this in a way that everybody can see. Okay, the volume. All right.
Else I learned, they did a study of 50 owners of companies, successful owners of companies like yourselves. And they asked them, what is the very best time management or business tool that you've ever discovered? 49 out of the 50 held up a yellow writing pad. And this is what they did. This is how they planned their day. They made a list, to-do list. Today, they wrote down everything they had to do. They always work from a list. If you don't work from a list, it's very much like taking your hands off the wheel of your car going down a winding road in the mountains. What happens is your life's going to go up and you're instantly going to start doing irrelevant and unimportant and useless things. And at the end of the day, you'll be exhausted and you'll have accomplished nothing.
All right, that's just a time.
Now here's something else.
Time management hack. I recommend you guys watch that video again. Does it mean that if you don't have a list, you cannot organize your day? I would say, let's take some words of wisdom from that clip, and don't run away with this and say that if you don't have a list, then you can live your day or your life. It's something I tend to, you know, many professionals, everybody does is stay organized. I have a yellow pad. Doesn't mean that you have to have a yellow pad. I also have a journal that I use to get myself organized, to write my thoughts down. So there are different ways of staying organized. Some people want to use their phone. Maybe they have stuff on their notes. Okay, so I recognize that. Now, the reason I say this is because I'm going to be going over the course calendar. And the course calendar tells you what is coming. I always tell students, especially in my in-person class, that the course calendar is what helps you to know what's coming. When I say what's coming, so you know you can anticipate the work that you have to turn in. So when I give students the printed copy of the course calendar, I do that for a reason, because I want them to have the information at their fingertips, but I also want them to have it in visual format, something they can see, something they can look at, something that they can read. So looking at the course calendar we have for week 1, we have this. You will notice that I made use of color coding. The red is something that you have to complete and turn in. I have on the course shell, as you can see here, I've already recorded a review for week 1. I haven't released this announcement, so you can't see this, but to give you a summary, I just walk you through what you need to do in week 1. And this is a course orientation, of course, so I've already covered some of the things you'll be doing in week 1. But so you know that looking at the course calendar, it's easy to interpret. On the left, you have got the weeks. So from September 18th to the 24th is when you had the timeline you have to complete all these activities. Now I've scheduled it in this way because I want you guys to help you guys manage the work. I'm not going to make all these 30 things due in one day because it may be too much for you. So if you're looking at the course calendar, one of the first tasks that you need to complete would be your autobiographical profile and your intro survey, because that's due on the 21st. Then if you've done that, you can move on to the syllabus quiz and statement of understanding. And that's that, right? I got an extra credit opportunity. Like I said, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt your grade to take advantage of extra credit opportunity. Far from it, I think it helps your grade, because 1 or 2 points can make a difference. I've had a student, like I said, like in my class, who was a B student and he managed to get an A, and I was like, I'm surprised that he got an A because he was just he would just take advantage of everything. I mean, when I say take advantage, like extra credit, like opportunities that would just earn him points, and that made a difference at the end. Speaking on that, I want to go over. Let's see. I think in the course calendar, you would notice hyperlinks that I have here. Now, I cannot post all supplemental resources on the course calendar. I try to post the ones that are most important, the ones that I think will be most helpful for you. So when you look at the course calendar, don't just click on the hyperlink and say, bam, I'm done because I've checked all this. It's possible that some of the topics we're covering in the week may be challenging. And I'm constantly doing research on all the topics. So you want to start off by looking at the course materials, and especially the first week. You look at, for week 1, I've got a ton of resources. For instance, how do you understand the course theme? Some more. I have given you some explanations for the course theme and the rationale behind it. But then here's a chance for you to watch a video on what is rhetoric, what is technology. And in this, it's more in-depth explanation. So take a look at this, and then you've got information about social connection. The reason why I'm so interested in social media is also because I understand that social media is one tool that we use to connect with others. Now, people are more connected with social media apps today, but it doesn't mean that they are the most. It doesn't mean that people are more, should I put it this way, when it comes to community still suffers as a result. So this is a study done by the U.S. Office of U.S. Surgeon General, and this is what they came up with when it comes to social connections. As a matter of fact, the Office of the U.S. Surgeon General made this startling claim that we have an epidemic of loneliness. That's serious. So take a look at this chart. And this is it's based on stats and research. Hopefully it will inform you about social connections and the importance of it. Social media is one way to stay socially connected, but not everybody on social media, just because they are on Instagram or Facebook, doesn't mean that they are socially connected. In fact, if we're living a life of isolation. So take a look at this. I think I thought it was worth sharing with the class, and you will see that this is important. Now, what does this have to do with the theme of this class? I'm going to give you a hint, because in some technologies is definitely impacting social connections. Some say it's making it worse. Some say it's making it better. And that concludes my review of the course calendar. The other point that I'll bring up about the course calendar would be to let you know that this is pre-organized. I don't want to overwhelm you by going over every single detail for the week, but what you need to know is that from week 1 to week 13, it's organized and laid out. You want to have a copy of it saved on your laptop if possible, or desktop, printed out if possible. Would there be changes? Possibly. I will let you know. Would there be other inclusions in the course? If something really comes up, I could include 1 or 2 things, but if I make changes, usually to cut short the work. Don't be overwhelmed by this. It's not to discourage you, it's just to give you an idea of what's coming. Okay, so I've organized the material in a way that you can understand it, so anybody can just scroll through learning modules and understand what's going on. I'm going to stop here to just get some feedback, in case you have any questions, thoughts, comments about the class. Any questions, comments, thoughts?
I have a question. For the assignments, so those will be like by week, right? It shows by week in the
Yes.
Okay. And then from there, I will just get it. If there's anything that doesn't show, do I just email you and then you can send it to me in an email? Because I
Um,
know some videos will show and sometimes they won't show.
well, let's not make that assumption that it won't show. Let's assume that if something is wrong, contact me.
Mhm.
Because if it's probably not showing on your end, then it's probably not showing on my end. And
Okay.
yeah, let's put it that way, because that's one thing I've noticed, and yeah, it's a good observation, because when I teach, I also notice that I've got to update links every time. Sometimes this is one reason I don't like to rely on other people's material. Like last semester, I relied on some YouTube materials they were explaining and essays, but now all those videos have been deleted. So I'm like, I just discovered like a week or 2 weeks ago, I was going to use those videos, and then it's like, you know what, they've been deleted because YouTube says it violated its terms of service. So like that's why I like to create my own videos, because nobody
Yeah.
can delete it. But so yeah, if it's I mean, there are some links I have on the course calendar. They could, if they're not working, let me know. And if it doesn't work on your end, it's probably not going to work on my end. So it's probably not something. There's no magic to me sending you something. It's probably not. If you can't see something, it's probably maybe I can't see it as well. So you want to reach
Okay.
out to me when it comes to that. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can talk off camera. Let's